Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bajuka Bog Radio. This is your host, MTG Ghoul Dude, and I have a very important question for you guys. So I'm going on a trip. This is going to be quite a little bit further away from home. I'm not going to just be able to drive home in a day if I need to just grab something and go back. So I was wondering, what is in your bag? Your play bag, your deck box bag, your gaming bag. What is in your bag? So, me personally, I feel like you want to have a few quintessential things. If you know you're going to be able to play, I'm very, very certain you want to bring a playmat. And it's always optional. I prefer to have a mat tube just to keep it from, collecting dust if it goes somewhere or falls and gets dirty. I would never want that to happen. But yeah, playmat tube. If I know I'm going to play, I'm going by myself or something, or we're going to just hang out for a full day and then the next day we go back. Usually I'll bring probably 2 or 3 decks, because it varies. You don't want to just bring your I would probably bring my strongest deck, my most fun deck, and just something that I just like to just throw around and have fun with. Deck boxes, yeah, you want to have your decks in their boxes. Now, when it comes to dice, if you're going to play, bring a decent amount of dice, however much you think you're going to need for the however many decks you are going to bring. So, if one deck has all the counters, you're going to need to bring quite a bit of dice. If most of your decks run a few counters each, I think you can get away with, a standard amount. Let's see, life trackers. If you're not using your phone, notepad, pen, those are always good and easy to throw in a bag, which dice are also, part of that life tracking. And what else? Me personally, if I'm going and I know I'm going to be playing, I'm probably not going to bring other things, like towers or anything like that. I'm just going to, just be playing Magic. And so we got the mats, we got the mat tube, we got deck boxes and decks and dice. So trade binder is on the list now, and my personal preference is a small trade binder, nothing huge. Maybe a single trade binder, but if if I'm going and I know I'm going to play, I usually won't bring a big trade binder. But if I'm just going with the possibility of nothing but, getting cards, trading cards, I'm probably going to bring the most that I can, when it comes to in a singular place, one binder that's got all the good stuff in it. And now this just may be me, but, I like to bring and keep inner sleeves. I will throw a pack of inner sleeves in the zip finder that I have or something. Hopefully I have a way to, keep them separated. But I recently picked up what is the brand? Give me a second. I recently picked up a Ultra Pro zip binder, and it's pretty good. I kind of need to clean it because it has gotten dirty over the past couple days. Well, past couple weeks since I got it, and they are good quality. They're 4 card pages, and there's a whole bunch of pages in there. I'm sure you could carry plenty of cards. I'm gonna bring, because I do collect 2 different TCGs. I'm actually considering bringing a third. There's a random box just fell. Because I do carry, I do a couple other things. I'm probably going to bring some of the rando Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I know I have that are worth something and see if I can get something for those too. Yeah, that's a story for another day because ooh, I don't think I've ever mentioned I played any kind of Yu-Gi-Oh. And it really wasn't even played. Well, we can go on to it now. I got a deck from a buddy of mine and I just started buying packs and here and there, and I bought one of the boxes from this a special set box, and I browsed one of my local game stores for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I played with him, and that if I ever decide I'm gonna just sell all the good stuff, sell everything, I'm gonna make sure he gets those cards back, probably more than likely, because he was willing to give them to me. He didn't make me pay for them or anything, so. But that's now we're up to Matt tube, binder, deck boxes, dice, sleeves, for the inner sleeves. I had something else that was on my mind. But what do you guys carry with you? Because for this particular trip, for me, we're going, good couple hours out, and I probably will not get the chance to play because this is a different type of little vacation. It's me and my significant other, and we're going out, and we're going to go, just on a vacation to relax. So I'll probably just bring the binder with some inner sleeves, hoping to try and get some trades off, or uh sell trade some cards in for credit to get other cards. But yeah, that's pretty much the epitome of this podcast, because I mean, if we want to really go into detail, I prefer to have, a good solid mat tube. I want to have it. If I'm taking a mat tube, I would prefer to have a clear mat tube. I don't want to have like a tinted mat tube or a completely enclosed mat tube. Something that I can't see that my play mat is still in there. If it's still in there, I can see it. But if it's tinted or something, or if it's a solid piece, somebody could just like pop it open, snatch it, put it back, close it, and be done and have a free playmat. And I have very few playmats that I actually, just love and I just could not let go of. One of them is them arcane, one of that Lotus Arcane Fortress mat, and it is still just so vibrant, so beautiful. I would not. I mean, I'd suggest people to go and get theirs, but I wouldn't just trade it off or let somebody steal it. Deck boxes, as long as you're going with the market standard of, me personally, the market standard is magnets that are super strong holds or boulders, because boulders, you're gonna know when they click open, and I have like one of those handy. Yeah, you're gonna know when somebody clicks that, or like any of the magnet type, because I mean, yeah, somebody can like really quietly do it, but if they're in a rush, they're not just gonna try and just. They're probably gonna take the whole thing. They probably won't know what they got until they get it. So and this is probably just like any other convention type setup that you would want to take with you. Backpack with either hidden zippers or locks on your zippers is really good. Keep your backpack close to you, but for me, I'm not gonna be carrying a full backpack of things. I'm probably gonna be carrying a backpack with the things that I'm gonna take around with me, and just it's probably only gonna leave my back once, and I have a thing, if I'm carrying a backpack and I'm going into it and there's stuff in it that's probably going to either take out or put back, I bring it to the front and holster it onto the front. I put it on my chest pretty much so I can like see what I'm going through. So that's something that I do. And it, if I'm going to eventually put something back in it, I don't want to, have to take it off, put it back on, take it off, open it up, and do all that stuff. I can kind of just like halfway close it while it's in the front and it's there. So that's like kind of prevention, theft prevention, kind of sort of. Dice bags. I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but unless you're carrying around like those highly valued ruby custom quartz dice with the special inlays or something, I'm sorry to say it, but even for me, I have tons of dice, and I would be sad if I lost some of them or somebody stole them. But dice are something that I can replace. There's a few things in my dice bag that I actually probably wouldn't want to have to replace. But at the same time, if it's gone, it's gone. I mean, there are very few of them and if somebody's seen it, they would know. But they'd be like, "Yeah, that's different. Where in the world would you get that from?" But yeah, so sleeves. When it comes to like inner sleeves or regular sleeves, uh, I would that's really personal preference because me personally, I prefer the Dragon Shield slide up inners, where you slide the card up into it, the top down loaders, the top loaders, or the bottom loaders, whatever you want to call them. Arcane Fortress has some neat little synergy sleeves. If you could get them without the color, or if you have a personal preference color, you can actually, for me, I think this would be a really neat idea, would be to, get a bunch of them, get them all at once. And then if you're doing like a trade binder, you can have like, purple is, this much, or like if you're going to sell them too, you could get them like pre-priced and whatnot. Uh, I feel like you could do that with, sleeves, or if you're just like willing to just trade for, straight cash. That would be it'd be a pretty good, thing to do for stuff like that. But that would also take time beforehand, make sure you have like a $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, up type of deal. And then you could like the ones that don't have like that, the ones that are like super expensive, you could like leave out of sleeves. That way you don't have to worry about it. But that's, yeah, and plus it makes the cards unique. So people will know, oh well, somebody that's one of the cards out of the binders that was stolen because it has the red thing around it. It's also, kind of like theft prevention and, finding a way to get it back to you in a way. But so what else were we talking about? We talked about mats, we talked about bags. If you have multiple zippers on your bags, make sure, you put them all in one direction to make sure, you kind of, you did it in a way, just like a mental thing, kind of, sort of. Locks on the bags, playmat holders, playmat tubes, clears probably better. Inner sleeves. So for me, if I'm going to buy cards or trade for cards, I make sure that I put them in sleeves, especially if they're expensive, which usually lately I've been getting, some pretty hot pieces, and I'm gonna put them in inner sleeves in my binder in a certain place to make sure I don't, trade them off just after I got them. Let's see. We talked about decks, deck boxes, sleeves. You could carry extra sleeves just in case if you're gonna play. For me, in this run around, I'm not going to. I'm not gonna carry any decks with me because I don't think I'll have time to play. Um, I think that's really about it when it comes to packing. What do you guys do when you go to run around and go off to if you're a daily long distance traveler you're stopping at hotels a lot, you're sitting in your, trucks or something. Let me know what you guys do down in the comments section below. I also wanted to mention at the very end of it, I am back into playing Spell Table, and I'm having a blast. If you guys haven't heard of Spell Table or you play Spell Table, I will have a link to my Discord down in the comments in the description. And if you wanted to join to get some Spell Table games in, I would love it. That is always awesome to, talk with you guys, and it'd be even cooler to, just like talk because, everybody's from different places. I like, stories and all that other stuff. The other day I was talking to, it was right after a game I had played at Galta Stampede Tyrant, and boy, I just got hosed. One of my opponents was playing Luane, and this creature is a legendary cephalid. Whenever it enters, return all blue permanents, all blue creatures your opponents control to their owners to their hands. And then your opponents can't play blue spells. So what he did was he twisted it, and literally twisted it. He would cast Luane, and he would use a color change, a blue spell that, and there's a whole bunch of these that change the color, like Mind Bend or something like that, and it would change the color of, on the text on the card. So he would make it to where all the instances of blue would say, oh, well, everybody's got a majority of green out or white out, which was the two most popular colors for him to choose, because it was Atraxa, Luane. What was he playing? Our opponent, the one to my right, he was playing Rasputin. I believe that's what it was, with the dream counters on it, and you can take the dream counters off to pretty much float colorless mana. That game was wild. It ended up being a Approach of the Second Sun win that he had to spin his wheels so hard to get to return from his graveyard, because he had cast it once. He had shuffled. He had put it 7 from the top, and then he had tried to cast it again, and it was countered. But like 7 turns later, he was able to like get this combination of cards going where he could draw, then scry and blink, and then he was able to grab a spell that would allow him to cast a spell from, or return a spell from his graveyard to his hand. And it was a great game. There were some great people. The Rasputin player and the Luane player were really good friends, but one of them had moved away, so that was their way to keep in touch and keep playing Magic together. So I thought that was really awesome. I love hearing stories like that, just beating the odds of keeping a friendship alive and keeping their hobby alive together. And if you want to do that and maybe play a couple games and get it on the channel, I'd love to play games with you guys and put it up on the channel, and maybe make it a permanent thing on the channel, because I love playing Magic. And oh man, it's I'm gonna be honest, it's a whole lot cheaper to sit at home and play Magic and enjoy it than to drive out, probably for me, on my usual day that I go play, about an hour to go play and drive back an hour. So that's that ain't ever fun, and sometimes it gets late, and sometimes I get super sleepy. So, But I mean, I'm not knocking my LGSs. I love all my LGSs that I go to, all the local game stores that I go to, because some are better than others in some way, and some of them I have a personal connection with. Some of them are just like, I've been going there for, quite a while, and the guys know me. But yeah, that's that's always fun. But like I said, getting back kind of like on the topic, if you guys want to join the Discord and play a couple games, I'm always down. Usually like Monday and Wednesday are like video days that I kind of get videos together. But usually, if I can get a game in between you guys, that's always fun. But that is going to be it. I appreciate everybody that like, comments, and subscribe to the channel. Everybody that, sits around and listens to me ramble on for 20 minutes and 21 minutes now. But that is going to be it, and I'll see you guys next time in the... I need a good one for this one. If you have a good suggestion for the outro for this one, because I use see you guys next time in the graveyard for regular video outros. If you have a good idea on what a good outro for this series would be, let me know. I want to see how creative you guys are. But that's going to be it, and I'll see you guys next time.